So it is officially day 12 of Algebra 1, and it is Thursday, April, it's the 10th. Thursday, April 10th. Okay, and your do now assignment was to find the slope of each line here that passes through the given sets of coordinates. And here is the formula that we use, the slope formula. We talked about this yesterday, so we're just kind of making sure that it's stuck today. Doing a little review. Okay, so number one, the two coordinates I have are 5, -3, and -2, 4. What is the first thing we should do when doing these types of problems? Yes, we want to start by identifying those values, the y1 and y2. So let's label our coordinates to do that first. Well, here's my y1. Here's my y2. And that would mean that 5, how would we label that? X1, and -2 is x2. Okay, so now that we have all of our numbers labeled, we're going to use the formula. So under here, or over to the side, I'm just going to write m equals, and I will give myself 2 big sets of empty parentheses. Just like that. Okay, so what number goes in the first blank? -3. y1, -3. Okay. What number goes next? 4. y2 is +4. Okay. And on the bottom, what number comes first? 5. Good. And then -2. Okay. So we got all our numbers plugged in. Our y's are on top, our x's are on the bottom. So now let's do each individual subtraction problem. -3 -4. What is that? -7. Good. -7. And 5 minus -2. +7. Now, how did we get a bigger number than 5 if we subtracted? Yeah, we subtracted a negative. Yes, exactly. When we are subtracting a positive number, that value would get smaller. But subtracting a negative number, we do the opposite. It gets bigger. Those two minuses beside each other, they sort of cancel each other out and become 5 plus 2. And that's how we get our 7. Okay, so we could be done here and say our slope is -7/7. But can we simplify it? Yes. -1/1. Or you could just say -1. Good. So I'm going to write -1. Both answers are fine. I will take either one. Both are good. Okay. All right. Any questions on number 1? All right. Let's look at number 2. What do I do first? Always. Label. Label, label, label. X1. And then X2. Y1, Y2. Okay. And now let's do some empty parentheses. M equals, I'll start this one further over, give myself more room. Okay, that's really tiny. I'm gonna zoom in on that. Okay, so what goes first? My y's. So what numbers? -3 minus 2. Good. So y1 minus y2. Now on the bottom we'll do what?
-2.
Perfect. -2 and 4. So we have -3 minus 2, -2 minus 4. Okay. What is -3 take away 2?
-5.
-5. Okay. -2 minus 4? -6. And so my slope, I have a -5 over a -6. Are we done? We're actually not. There's one more thing that we do have to do. When you get a negative over a negative, it becomes a positive. Yes, so the slope is actually 5 over 6. Because a fraction like this is really a division problem. This means -5 divided by -6. If I were to type that in on my calculator, I would see that I would end up with a positive number as my answer. So we want to rewrite that as positive 5 over 6. Okay. All right. All right. You look stressed, Rhonda. What you stressed about, girl? Tell me. Are the numbers getting mixed up?
I just need to learn how to write the X, Y, and I don't know what the problem is. I'm having time right now.
That's all right. Here's what I want you to do. I think this will help. For this next problem that we do together, let's get like just a fresh, clean sheet of paper, no numbers anywhere else, and let's just focus on each tiny little step and understand everything we're doing. So, pull out a fresh sheet of paper. And I'm going to also get that sticky note with my formula on it. Let's see.
I wrote it like twice and I'm still like writing the numbers in the wrong. I don't know.
That's okay. We are learning. That's what we're here to do. We are learning, and I don't expect you to be an expert on the first day, really. Nope. Right, right. Honestly, that might not be a bad idea. I want to try something. Do you think, Rhonda, that you're having a harder time, is it figuring out which number goes where, or is it just figuring out like how to label them?
I think it's how to label them.
How to label them. Okay, so that's good to know. Let's do something that might feel silly.
Because like I put, like, okay, 5 and -3.
Mm-hmm.
I have X1 and X2, but I know that's not right. It's
So
supposed to be X1 and Y1.
whenever you labeled up here, like you wrote, okay, okay,
And
so
I keep doing it.
that's okay. We're going to break your habit right now. Here's how we're going to do it. Okay. I want everybody to do this with me. We're going to do one set of parentheses with a comma, another set of parentheses with a comma on a fresh piece of paper, no numbers. Okay. Now, we're not going to use, I think sometimes like remembering to do like X1, Y1, X2, Y2. Let's just worry about X and Y. Just X and Y. Okay? First, let's just draw the actual kind of a guideline for us. And I'm going to recommend you all do the same colors as me. Get a red writing utensil, okay? If you don't have one at your desk, let me know. I will happily give you one. Okay. And we're going to start by putting X's in the first spot. Just those X's in the first spot. Okay? Now take a blue colored writing utensil. Take a blue. And we're going to put Y in that second spot. And we're going to let this serve as our guide, just so that we can see it up at the top, and if we mess up, we can say, okay, this is different up here. So below that, this is going to feel silly, but I want us to practice for a good few minutes here, literally just writing this over and over. You don't have to keep switching colors because I know that takes a while, but I'm going to just have us go X, comma, Y, X, comma, Y, X, comma, Y. It's going to feel silly, but I want us to do this for like 5 minutes straight, okay? I'm going to keep doing it up here with you. X, comma, Y, X, comma, Y, X, comma, Y, X, comma, Y, X, comma, Y. Okay, now I'm sure you're going to get tired of hearing me say that, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to pause my recording, and I'm going to keep writing these with you, and I'm going to put a song on. When the song ends, we'll stop, and then we're going to try to do another problem and see if it's stuck in our brain. Repetition in math, I have found, is the best way to get something stuck in your brain. Just do it over and over and over. So let's pause this. Whoop, there it is. Okay. These are all of our X's and Y's. Okay, now tell me, guys, are we going to mix them up, you think? No. Probably not after doing that so many times. It's crazy how simple our brains are. They're these silly little machines that when you repeat things to it over and over and over, it just sticks so much better. It does. And I'll tell you, when we move on and do the next problem, I bet you it's going to be a lot easier to label. So, let's go back to our do now. Now, I am going to cover up all my work above because I think sometimes having too many numbers on your page at once, bless you, can get a little overwhelming. So, I'm going to take a little blank paper and just kind of isolate the problem we're looking at. Okay. Okay, so let's label one coordinate at a time. We'll start with 6, 0. What comes first? X or Y?
Y.
X, Y.
Or X.
Girl.
All that work I just did, and you don't say Y.
It's okay. It's okay. You were referring to the formula. If we were talking about the formula, yes, Y does come first. You are good, Jessica. Perfect. In this coordinate, what comes first? X or Y? X. So let's label the X. What comes next?
Y.
Y. Good. Next coordinate. What comes first?
X.
X.
Y.
Y. Good. Now we have XY, XY, just like we've been doing. And we're not worried about those numbers just yet. What maybe might help is instead of writing the numbers, what we're doing when we plug them into the formula is we take a number from the first, then from the second. A number from the first, then from the second. It could be helpful also if we just see that, you know, this is coordinate 1, this is 2, okay? So, now Let's draw our empty parentheses. Let's do that. M equals parenthesis with minus over another parenthesis with minus. Okay, now I am going to compare, or I'm going to write my formula on a sticky note just so I make sure I'm putting the right letter in the right spot. Let's see. Oh my goodness. Okay. All right, now what comes first in the formula?
0.
It will be 0, yes. We have y minus y over x minus x. Okay. So, put that to the side. There we go. So now let's find, it says we're gonna be putting y on top, because that's what our formula says. And my y's are blue, so let's see. Let's do 0. Yes. 0 is our first y. So, yes. And then our next y is here, just negative 10. Okay. So on top, we now have 0 minus negative 10. Okay. And on the bottom, which x comes first?
6.
6. We're going to go back to the first coordinate. Now I have 6 and negative 2. Good. Good, good, good. All right. All right, all right, all right. So we got them plugged in. Okay? We got them plugged in. Does everybody see where all these came from? Okay, perfect. So now we just have to do the subtraction problems. 0 minus negative 10, what happens to that minus?
Positive.
Yes, it's a plus. It becomes a positive. So 0 plus 10 is 10 over, now we got the same thing happening down here. 6 minus negative 2, it's positive 8, because this is like 6 plus 2. The minus negative will cancel. And now I have 10 over 8.
And you can simplify that.
We can simplify.
It would be 5 over 4.
Yes. 5. So 10 divided by 2 gives us the 5. 8 divided by 2 gives us the 4. Perfect. 10 over 8 is still correct. I will take both. Both are good. All right. All right. And a quick pause.
I just keep hearing X line.
That's right. That's right. And you won't forget it. X, Y, X, Y. All right. Now the last one, number 4. Let's label our coordinates first. Okay, so, yep, X.
And negative 5 is X.
Yes, negative 5 is X as well. So I've got X, Y, X, Y. Perfect. Now, this time I am going to go back to labeling the 1 in the... Oh! I just did it wrong.
So you know what I think it is too?
Uh-huh.
The label, labeling,
Yes, labeling.
and the number, okay,
The little numbers.
right, my X, so it's the 3.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think I was trying to do, say the 3, and then I wasn't doing the negative 5 to go with the 3. That was
Ah.
throwing me off as well. I don't know. I guess I was just picking numbers. I don't know.
I
Y'all pray for
gotcha.
me. I got issues today.
And girl, that is okay. That's all right. So I think that's something that will get better with practice, just getting it in our brains. There's all kinds of things we could do to make that easier. We could like connect them with a little line if that helps. I know sometimes the colors can be helpful. We could even, instead of keeping them in parentheses like this and just labeling them, we could pull them out. What if I did, okay, I know x1 is here, so I'm going to go ahead and write x1 is 3, and then my x2, yep, x2 is negative 5. Okay, so I've got those together. And then I'll look at y1 and y2. Good. y1 is negative. Perfect. And then y2 is 4. So if something like this might be helpful, you know, just kind of pulling them out of the problem so that they don't feel like they're stuck next to each other. That might be another thing that would help too. So now that we have our numbers labeled, we want to use our formula. Y minus y over x minus x. I'm going to give myself those empty parentheses. Oops. Okay. All right. So now we're looking at these numbers that we have listed. My y's go on top, my x's go on bottom. So what number goes here? Negative 3 and 4. Good. And now what goes on the bottom? 3 and negative 5. 3 is my first x. Negative 5 is my next x.
So according to the formula, the y is always first.
Yes, which feels confusing because, yeah, it's confusing because x comes first in a coordinate. In the formula, it's almost like the y comes first. If it makes it feel more natural, we could do the bottom first because then we're doing x first always. That might make it feel easier rather than going top to bottom. Well, I'm just trying to think of things that might help. Yeah, I get you. I get you. Okay, well, now that we have it filled out, let's solve it. Negative 3 minus 4, what is that? Negative 7. 3 minus negative 5.
Positive 8.
Oof, yes, positive 8. Why is it positive 8?
Because the two minuses.
Yeah, minus a negative, they turn into positive. It's
So it's just like 3 plus 5.
exactly. It's just like 3 plus 5, which is 8. And that's our slope. Not too bad. All right. Okay, guys. We're doing good. We're doing good. We're learning things. We're getting better. I think that's great. Before we move on from this, whether you understand this perfectly or you're feeling a little bit of trouble as you do these, or a lot of trouble, I would like for you guys to come up with 2 good questions that you think would be helpful to a person in this classroom or maybe a person watching at home. What would be something that you think might confuse somebody? Just think for a minute, and if you come up with a question, pop your hand up or just shout it out. I'm I'm going to try to think of one too.
Well, I know that something that's kind of like, still tripping me up is still like the positive and negative stuff.
Yes.
So I know that like over this weekend, when I've got like 10 minutes or something, I'm going to be going into IXL and I'm going to be trying to like sharpen up
Yes.
on that stuff, because like there were several from the do now that like I did everything right except for those positive and negative sides. So
Yes.
I know that I'm gonna have to sharpen up on
Right.
that stuff.
That is definitely one of the hardest parts of this, is when you got those negative numbers in there, just remembering what all these operations are, like -3 minus 4. How'd we end up getting 7? That doesn't make a lot of sense. It's all of these different things. Sharpening up your skills, that will help for sure. Now let me ask y'all, who else, be honest with me, you can just do like a little hand raise, who else in this room struggles with negative numbers? They're hard. They're hard. Negative numbers are hard, okay? I think what I might do is I'll go through IXL and I'm going to try to find some that are just focused on the number part of things, not so much like finding slope. That way, if any of you do want to brush up on those, you will have endless practice problems on IXL.
Okay.
Yes.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
She actually made a really good point about the things that were confusing her.
Yeah.
She got the X1, Y1, X2, Y2 thing down, but now what's kind of messing her up is like, we put the X's first whenever we're labeling them, but then the
Yes.
Y comes first whenever we're doing the problem.
Right.
Are there any?
I do the same like yesterday.
Perfect. These look great. These look great.
For me.
Yes, these are good.
The same yesterday, the process.
The process?
Yeah, yesterday.
Yep, it's exactly like yesterday, and you're doing it perfectly. All your answers are right. This is good. Good, Nita. I love it. Uh-huh. Okay, so let me think. I wonder what would be helpful, since we do label the X's first, but then we write the Y's first.
I mean, I could get it, but I'm just trying to figure out like what
Right.
I struggle, what am I going through, like.
Right.
It might like add an extra step, but maybe just like write it, if it's more comfortable for you to write the X's first, just do it that way, and then just
Right.
always remember to flip it before.
Yeah.
the final
I
answer.
think we're gonna leave it alone, I'm gonna learn. Cause then I'm gonna forget to flip it.
But you know what? It's not necessarily that you'll have to flip it. It's just, whoop. Okay, hang on. Let me move. Jump scare. Okay. So what we could do, let me write 2 more coordinates.
Sorry, y'all.
Oh my gosh, do not be sorry, please, because you know what? I love that you are willing to admit when something is difficult for you, because I bet you there are at least 2 to 3 other people, maybe not in this room, but maybe watching the video, that are feeling exactly the same way, and they wouldn't have gotten that explanation if you hadn't told me. So I love it when you guys tell me that you don't get something or that you're struggling, because not only does it help you, but it helps so many others that would never have told me. So thank you, really. Don't be sorry at all. Okay, so let's do another example. How about 3, 2, and 5, 4. Okay, so we will always start with labeling. We know we have our X1, Y1. X2, Y2. And now I'm going to write my empty parentheses, okay? I'm not going to fill it out yet, but I'm going to give myself my empty slots. I'm trying to get creative and think of like a strategy that would help us. Sometimes these like little tricks in songs really help. Have you guys ever heard, I'm sure you have, the song by Drake? He's like, started from the bottom, now we're here.
Yeah, we've all heard of
Okay, so maybe what I'm thinking is like we wrote X first. So we're going to write X first in the formula. Now, if this confuses you, don't do it. That's fine. But I wrote X first on my coordinates, so maybe I'll do X's on the formula. And I'm going to remember, since I'm doing X first, we're going to start from the bottom, then go to the top. You know, started from the bottom, now we're here, then we'll do the Y's. So I'm going to start from the bottom and do my X's. X1 is 3. X2 is 5. So I started from the bottom. Now I'm here. Now I'll do my Y's. Okay?
I like it. I like it.
Hey, if it helps.
And the Y1 is 2.
Yes.
And the Y2 is 4.
Yes. Yes. Started from the bottom. Now we're here. Yes. Hey, if it works, it works. That's good stuff. Okay. And I'm going to write that because I'll forget it. Now, you don't have to, again, if you're doing a different method, no problem. I'm going to say started from the bottom.
Taylor, is that red or orange you're writing?
This is red. Is it showing up orange on the board?
Just a little.
A little bit.
Yeah, just a little.
Oh.
It's in between a
The
orange
coloring,
and red color.
I bet you the coloring is off. I actually think I can change that. Hang on, there's like a setting. Recording, wait, no. It is, how do I do that? I can make it, what do I want? White balance. Oh, whoa, that didn't help. Now it's all orange.
There you go.
Okay.
There you go, miss.
Does that make it look more red? There we go. Okay, sweet. Hey, we're trying new things. So started from the bottom.
What's what I meant? I went a little bit further. Oh, yeah.
Now we here.
I like it.
Yeah, hey, if it helps, then great. I like it too. Okay, let's do another one like that. Actually, let's finish solving this. I forgot. We still have to solve it. What's 2 minus 4? Oh,
-2.
-2. If I start with 2 and I take away 4, I've crossed over 0. Yep. So I've got -2 over, what's 3 minus 5? Also -2. Yes, -2 divided by -2 is 1. Although, if you kept it as 2 over 2, I wouldn't count you wrong. That's still right. Or even 1 over 1. But you have to simplify those negatives because they cancel out. That's important. Yeah. Okay. Okay. One more. Let's do -3, -2. I'm just going to, well, I don't want to rewrite the same exact problem. 6, 8.
Why was I thinking those two numbers?
Were you really?
Really weird.
She's a mind reader. That's crazy. That is really weird. Oh my gosh. Okay, so let's label what comes first. X1, and then Y1, and then, yep, X2 and Y2. Perfect. So now we're going to rake our empty parentheses. Okay. Now remember, we're going to start where? We're gonna start from X, from the bottom. We're starting from the bottom, okay? So what goes first on the bottom? Negative 3. What goes second on the bottom? 6. Okay, now where we are here, on the top. Yes, negative 2 and 8. Yes. Okay. Now, what's negative 2? Take away 8. Negative 10. Oh, that's a tricky one. I hate subtracting from a negative number. It's hard for some reason. Negative 3, take away 6. Negative 9. You're really just adding the numbers together, and they're negative. 2 plus 8 is 10, but it's negative. 3 plus 6 is 9, but it's negative. What's the next step? We can simplify what? Negative 10 and negative 9, what do they become? Say it again?
They'll be positive.
Ooh, yeah, so actually, negative 10 and negative 9, if I try dividing by 2, I would get negative 5, but then the 9 can't be divided by 2. I could try 3, I could do negative 9 divided by 3, and I'd get 3, but 10 can't be divided by 3. These two actually will not simplify, so we will keep the numbers.
So the negative 10 over negative 9 is the answer.
Almost. We do have one more step. Since they're both negative, what happens?
They cancel out.
They cancel and become positive.
10 over 9.
Perfect. And that would be our answer. Nice. All right. Oh. How we feel?
Better.
Good, good. That makes me happy. Okay, guys. I think that's it. I think that's all today.
No notes today?
Not really, because it's almost, we got 15 minutes till 2. If we were to start doing notes, I really didn't want to take you into 4th period because of our meeting that we have today, and Rashi's like, don't argue, I'm fine. No, you're good. So, we did lots of great practice with slope today, and I think that we are getting it. It's clicking in our brains. I love that. There is no exit ticket today. It is Thursday. I'm going to keep that promise. If you have not finished day 9, 10, or 11, make sure you get those to me by tomorrow. If you're not sure, you can ask me and I'll check for you. But before everybody leaves, let's see. Yeah, everybody that is here, looks like you guys should all be just about caught up. I just need, and you're coming to me. Perfect. All right.